What-ho, chaps, how the devil. It is, of course, your favourite time of the week with me, the Angry Bootneck, and your BBC Spews. Get in. What date are we on? Sunday the 11th. 1 week after the 4th of July. Now that Independence Day is over with, I can start this one with a bit of football, right? Which is obviously the done thing, considering there's the first final for the men's football team since 1966. I still don't see them winning it because I'm a Middlesbrough fan and I'm well used to Gareth Southgate. He doesn't have the tactical expertise of his Italian counterpart. On paper, they're a better team, and most importantly, they have real talent and almost supernatural skill for cheating. So I want to address it via the medium of this BBC story, seeing as it's the BBC Spews. They point out that the Daily Mail was looking at how the Italian media are sizing up their opponents. Them and the Spanish media were saying that Gareth Southgate's team only needed the referee's help, and if it wasn't for a dodgy penalty and a dive by Raheem Sterling, they wouldn't have got there. Well, let me tell you what I think about that. Italians and Spaniards and frogs and anybody else who lives on the continent criticising England for diving is like Harold Shipman criticising your GP because his handwriting's not fucking neat enough. This whole thing is only a story because they are renowned, legendary cheats. Was Raheem Sterling's penalty a little bit dodgy? Yeah, of course it was. Let's have a quick look.
The Sterling penalty.
Yeah.
Did you call it as a penalty?
I did, yeah.
I thought it was. Alan's not quite as sure.
No, I thought it was a penalty. I think that there's a little nibble kind of there on his way back from Mailer, and I think that was the reason the referee gave the...
Now, yeah, he didn't need to go down. Yes, it was a bit soft. But there was contact made on more than one occasion by more than one leg. And if there is contact, it's a player's prerogative to go down. I probably wouldn't have gone down because I'm not a shithouse footballer. I'm a bootneck. I only go down on howling women with a fanny that looks like a ripped Wellington boot. But he did, and he's entitled to do so. Leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth as an Englishman, but contact was made, and it ain't the end of the world. It's nothing like, Italy's famous, legendary, world-beating striker, Immobile, completely fictionalising an injury. Nothing like that, is it?
We talked about it at half-time, actually, didn't we? Where if you look at him, he kind of goes down. Look, he's trying desperately to get a penalty. Oh, I'm in agony. And then the ball goes in. I'm all right. It's amazing what a recovery.
Bit of a difference there, isn't there? So that's why the dirty continentals are making a big deal. If you had to categorise dives from this tournament, that wouldn't even be in the top 20. So let's just have that said right off the bat, right? It's a joke. Pure politics. Mind games from the Italians, the Spaniards, the frogs. And win or lose, it's irrelevant. They are rat bastards when it comes to football. And if Sterling going down a bit easy is the worst they've got, I don't think the rest of the world's really going to be paying attention, are they? Right, should we do some proper news instead of football shit? Wayne Couzens, Sarah Everard's killer linked to 2015 indecent exposure incident. Ooh, this is a cheeky one. Bootneck Senior will be creaming his kegs because he loves a conspiracy theory about the police. He loves to go on about the corruption and the decadence and the cheating and the nepotism and the cronyism and the lies. And he's only been proved right again, hasn't he? Because this weapons-grade fuckknuckle, this murdering piece of shit, should have been banged up 5 years ago. 2015 indecent exposure incident. Oh, he's been linked to it, has he? He was accused 6 years ago. But weird, for some reason, when women accuse policemen of things, puff, it vanishes like mist on the mountainside. It said 2 officers are under investigation for possible breaches of professional standards in relation to the flashing offence. A fucking flash. So he lobbed his chopper out in the middle of a fast food restaurant and it somehow went under the radar. Are you pulling my pisser? Right? Let's not talk about his pisser. Somebody is pulling fucking mine. Because that is an absolute bite. In total, the IOPC said 12 gross misconduct or misconduct charges had so far been served on police officers from several forces relating to the Cousins case. Fucking hell. 3 more officers have been served with misconduct notices in relation to it, so they're all just arse covering, like they always do. They're also examining allegations that officers from several different police forces breached standards of professional behaviour by sharing information linked to the prosecution of Cousins. Dodgy bastards. And they probably went round her house with, polished the truncheons in front of her. That could or could not be a metaphor, right? I was trying to get at, maybe insinuated possible violence against her, threatened her. But yeah, knowing the police these days, maybe they were polishing the fucking truncheons in front of her hair. Cressida Dick. She is a fucking dick. She is premium unleaded dickhead who rose to the top, I think we all know, because of identity politics and what she is and who she is, not how professional she behaves. She is incompetent. She's been grossly incompetent ever since she got the job. All she is good at is munching rug. She is not good at policing streets. This, in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, is what's wrong with the modern police. I've made videos about it before. I could have saw this coming 50 miles away. I knew it was coming before this story even came out. Because let me tell you why. Identity politics, bowing to the communists, has created a situation where we no longer live in a meritocracy. I don't care whether you're talking about fighting fires, policing streets, or emptying bins, right? If someone like Stephen Hawking applied to be a fucking bin man and he was the right colour and he had a particularly dishevelled wheelchair, they'd fucking snap him up. They'd go, get him on round there with Bob. He can help him load 4 ton of shit on a van today. Can't do the job, but he's got that nice fake American accent because he's a fucking robot and he can't move his arms and legs, so it'll look fantastic on the front of the paper, that, and we can write stories on the BBC. Shall I get the wheelie bin? Yes, replied the wheelie bin man. Bin men shouldn't have wheels, right? They need legs and strong arms because they pick shit up. Policemen should be able to police the streets. Firemen should be able to put fires out. They should be able to throw my fat dad over their shoulder and carry him down the fucking ladder all the way to safety on the ground. Yeah? He's got more chins than the Chinese phone book. He's got a fat ass. He's 68 and he drinks too much rum. Can you do it if you're a 5'2" trans they them? Like Jack Munro is a good example. Anyone know the talentless food blogger Jack Munro? She got in the fire service. You know why? Because Jack Munro's dad was a top man in the fire service, and Jack Munro's non-binary. And Jack Munro, if you haven't seen them, Jack Munro would have been about as much use as a fireman as Michael Jackson would have been a childcare assistant. It is laughable that these people get these jobs that decent, hard-working, working-class men and the rare, athletic working-class women can't get because of cronyism, nepotism and box-ticking. That useless, saggy vat of coleslaw, that is just a bin liner full of coleslaw. That shouldn't have been anywhere near the fire department. You know it and I know it. If your mother was rolling around on fire and that turned up, she's not getting put out anytime soon. The only thing Jack could do is bring sausages and we can cook them on the fucking remnants of her spinal column afterwards. It's a laugh, it's a joke, but it ain't funny. And yes, the police are incompetent, are corrupt, are bent as Elton John's cock. They are no use for anything. They are not fit for purpose because we're not hiring police officers for competency anymore. My mate Richie tried to be a policeman, 6'3", fit as a fiddle, didn't get in. But my mate Jim, who is a copper, because he joined well before him, he was a detective. He used to watch them pass out. He actually met Cressida Dick and he went to see a load of police pass out. And he said, well, he showed me some photos. You should have seen the fucking state of them. It was worse than the mugshots from the Antifa demo in Portland. It was like watching the Lollipop Kids crossed with, I don't even know, special needs children and fucking plutonium. If a special needs school bus crashed into a vat of nuclear waste like the dude on RoboCop, what emerged from the wreckage was stuck in a uniform and is now policing the fucking streets. It's fucked. The Met is not fit for purpose. Our police are useless. And just like the BBC, we need to go through them like a dose of salts and see if we can possibly salvage that small minority of good coppers and command elements and somehow rescue all of our public services back, bring them back from the brink, because they are in ruins because of the death of meritocracy. We don't live in one anymore. It was good while it lasted. Calls grow for an extra bank holiday if England win. Holy fucking shitballs. Have we not had enough time off for the last 18 months? Really? Yeah? Have you got a bad back? Are your hands a bit sore? Have we been grafting for the last 18 months, have we? Do me a fucking favour. Anything for another day off for these champagne socialists at the BBC. Becca, you don't do any work anyway. You do less work than the ship's cat. If you've ever got a callus on those manicured fucking hands, eyelid hair with 10 donkeys, it is absolute bollocks. What do you mean we need an extra bank holiday? Nobody's been at work for a year, you dippy mare. There they are, obviously birds. It's all birds at the football now, don't you know, lads? Oh, all the men are out working. Football, that's a woman's game, that. That's why we have clueless fucking women commentating on the BBC. Gone are the days where you get someone like Frank Lampard on there. Now it's like, what about Sarah Brown? She was a librarian who once read about football. Fuck it, put her on the telly. I mean, it's, again, death of the meritocracy, right? I'm amazed they've kept Shearer on there. Like, oh, he was a fantastic striker. Yeah, but he hasn't got tits. He hasn't got a set of piss flaps. Get rid of him. Bring in some, preferably a black woman. Yeah. Hope, maybe a disabled one. Bring in a black woman from the Paralympics team. Stick her on the mic. Again, a joke. I'm sure there are some capable women who are good commentators. I haven't heard any, frankly. But there must be some out there. Being a woman doesn't preclude you from getting a job as a commentator. But again, can we just be honest? We're picking people because of their immutable characteristics. This is just known. This is why we have dwarven firefighters. This is why we have agoraphobic disabled policemen. And this is why we have birds everywhere you look when you're trying to watch the fucking football. It's madness. Boris Johnson's coming under pressure to give work as a one-off. Coming under pressure from who? Who? A tiny minority of champagne socialists who don't want to do any work at all, even though they hardly do any anyway. I guarantee it's not the blokes who chisel the Johnnies off the sewer walls in London. It's not going to be the hod carriers. I'll tell you what, I need a fucking day off if England win. No, they'll just do what they have to do and go to bastard work like they always do. It's these BBC Guardianista twats and all of their lefty chums who think fucking petitions heal the world. I'm sick of seeing petitions. That's all you get now, petitions. No one wants to do any actual work. If Hitler was barnstorming across Europe in this day and age, nobody would join up to fight the fucker. They'd be like, D-Day, that's hard work. Let's get a petition started. Fuck your petition. I embarrassingly tried to start one once, you remember that? Oh yeah, that was for a cause that was actually logical and sensible and reasonable. So that one got fucking deep six straight away. The Home Office set that on fire faster than Matt Hancock slaps birds' asses on the tube. It's gone. Petitions of shit, yeah, nothing important, just wankery. Endless wankery that nobody cares about. In fact, I'm not even going to read the rest of this. It's fucking bollocks. We've already got fucking 8. There's 9 in Scotland, obviously. Glasgow, they need an extra day off. If you drank as much Buckfast and got through as many Super Kings as they did in a week, you'd need an extra day off. But we don't need any more bank holidays. So fuck them. This is just calls grow. Shut up. Do some work, you lazy bastards. Honest to God. The economy's in ruins, half the world's on fucking fire, and we need more bank holidays. What a lot of bollocks. Seriously, if you sign that petition, you should feel guilty. We've done fuck all for 18 months. Go and do some work. Please. Here's a good one. Daniel Hunter. Yeah, don't want to say that name. Apparently that makes you a Nazi. Daniel Hunter. A teenage murderer with far-right legs. Oh, really? Really far-right? Always, yeah. The far right don't. The BBC and the far left and the Guardian. They love the far right. They adore them. They want far right everywhere. They wish far right was multiplying like wet gremlins in the bath. Unfortunately, there isn't enough of them, is there? For the power that the authoritarian left wield, you would think you can't walk out your house without bumping into a Klan rally. You think everywhere you went, people had spiky hats on and were there with lynching people. Doesn't happen. The far right in the UK gets about 0.001% of the fucking vote. So they have to make far right boogeymans every chance they can get. Even when, doesn't really sound like he's going to be far right, does it? Do you think he was far right? Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, he looks like a white supremacist. Defo, yeah. I can tell by his surname, Defo, a white supremacist. He's just a white supremacist who particularly loves vacationing in Tenerife, and he fucking loves bronzing all day. Yeah, can't get enough of tanning. He just turned 18 when he stabbed 2 sisters. What prompted him to commit such a crime? Well, you already told us. He's far right, isn't he? You've told us. Might have a bit of a tan, might have a funny name, but he's definitely far right. Course he is. Course he is. It was definitely that horrible Mr. Robinson. It must have been him. Yeah, in fact, let's just put him in jail again. Yeah, we don't really need much of an excuse to lock him in prison, evidently. Fuck it, let's lock him up for it. Let's let this nice young fella go back to praying in one of them strange buildings that looks a bit like a church, but sort of has a bit of a bell end shaped roof. Said Mr. Hussein thought he drew up a contract with a demon. That well-known far-right trope, right, yeah? You know, Nick Griffin, everybody knew he was in league with demons. Fuck me. Victor Orban, they're always calling him far-right. Has he ever talked about demons? He must have done. Oh, Lord Beelzebub, strike the unbelievers from Hungary, and I will drink the blood of 1,000 virgins. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, lads. Do you know what you've done here, BBC? You've yet again dropped the ball, haven't you? Because you've started the headline. This is how the BBC drops the ball. They've started the headline expecting no one's going to get any further than that. That's where you go wrong, BBC. Some of us can read. Because there's your reactionary headline. Oh yeah, far right. Yeah, Nick Griffin, BNP. Goratan, foreign sounding name, believed he had a contract with a demon. I haven't read the BNP manifesto, but I don't believe there was anything in there about forging hell-spawned pacts with shadow-formed demon spawn. Right? I'm certain that wasn't in there. Lucifuge Rothor Scale is definitely not a member of the British Nationalist Party. And they don't require you to sign contracts in blood. Right? This is just fucking laughable. Said he grew up in Blackheath, but doesn't tell us where he was born. Weird that, eh? And I love that at the bottom. He apparently considered himself Aryan. Well, we can all do that. Think that's how it works with the far right? Yeah, far right, yeah. What should we do today, fellow far right mates? Whoa, hang on. What are you lads doing here? We identify as Aryan. Oh, okay. You consider yourselves Aryan, lads. Yeah, we do, yeah. I mean, yeah, we do, yeah. Fucking nice one. You're in. Doesn't fucking work like that, BBC. If he considers himself Aryan, I'll consider myself the Virgin fucking Mary, shall I? So, absolute fucking gobbledygook, as usual. And just to be clear, I have no interest in defending the far right, but the BBC lies overtly. And the same thing happened when Joe Cox was murdered by a fucking maniac, a Fruit Loop. He wasn't affiliated with the far right. He hadn't joined any far right groups. He was a fucking nutter. So there's the paltry 2 or 3 murders a year that the BBC manages to drum up, committed by the far right, are actually committed by blokes who look like that, have names like that, and have lengthy conversations with mighty king Lucifuge Rothor fucking Scale. Right? Right. Let's do one more. This episode has been very light on cock and LGBTQ plus IA, alphabeti spaghetti, BBC favourite. So let's just do this one. Pride Month. How LGBTQ plus wrestlers have found a place in the industry. Yeah, because there was definitely no gay wrestlers in the 80s and the 90s, was there? None. Right? It's all been done before, lads. I keep telling you. Here's one from fucking 6 years ago. 3 black blokes called the Bootios, dressed in fucking pink leotards, holding a banana. It's like, I don't even know what's going on there. If somebody from a different political affiliation was to share such an image, I'd be alarmed about it. But it's a new day at the WWE. They're big, black and camp, and fans love it. Yeah, so you guys, years late to the party, as fucking usual. Because what do I keep telling you? The BBC wants to pretend they're all oppressed. They aren't. They made a video this week about how they're all going after everybody's kids. 2021 is the most gay-friendly time to be alive in all of human history. So stop going on about it. Nobody wants you to become the standard bearer. The standard bearers have been and gone long before you self-entitled narcissistic fuckers. And it's just more drivel than you'd expect. There's loads of us coming out. We don't care. It's been going on for ages. I'm openly gay, but that's not why I'm in the ring. Have you seen Ric Flair or fucking Ultimate Warrior? It's the gayest sport there is. Nobody cares. You're not oppressed. Gay people weren't oppressed in Manchester in the 1990s. I used to go out with a girl there. You walk through Manchester, it was camp as fuck. There was more fucking gay discos than you can shake a pink hairy stick at. You're not oppressed. You are privileged. It is the exact opposite of the truth. You get away with things that I can't get away with. Therefore, you're the privileged one, not me. If I dressed up in a gimp suit and started smacking my bird's ass outside of primary school, I'd find myself in the nick very quickly. But you lads can get away with it. Fuck knows why. So please, and again, I'll reiterate for about the 500th time, I'm not having to go at any LGBTQ plus I people. I was pro-gay marriage in the 90s when it wasn't cool. But you can stop talking about it. Because the more you go on about it, the more you do actually annoy people. We're on board. You don't have to batter me around the head and genitals with a gigantic spiky rainbow every fucking day of the week. We don't think you should be oppressed for who you are. But please, stop going on about it. Get a job in a bank, vote Conservative, be about your business, and occasionally bum the head off your boyfriend. That's what everybody else does, yeah? You just do stuff, and you make stuff, and you work, and a tiny, tiny fraction of your life is who you happen to like hanging out the back of on those rare occasions when you perform coitus. Right? Stop making your entire life about who you happen to put your cock in or rub your gash up against, and trust me, you will be happier. Healthier, happier, and freer. There are much more important things to talk about than your sexuality. You know it, I know it. Everybody over the age of about 15 should know it. You don't go for dinner with your parents and the first thing your dad says is, fucking hell son, I smashed the shit out of your mother this weekend. Booyah! I was fucking 10 pegging her at 4 o'clock in the morning. No one wants to know. It's sort of disgusting. We Brits, we're a quiet lot when it comes to things like that. We're not continental. Keep it to yourselves. Of course you should be treated fairly. But you don't have to endlessly harangue me with unending tales of hardcore action. Right? I think I'll call it. I've got a sore throat. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for persevering with the much maligned Angry Bootneck channel. Please like and share it, because Susan, the nefarious winged beast of Silicon Valley, will never do it. I'm far too reasonable for them. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week, and I'll see you all very soon. Cheers!